Hello and welcome, Cosmic Quantum Travelers. I welcome you to another installment of the Cosmic Energy Update. I just want to check in a little bit shorter today. I know we're all tired and could do with rest, but for some reason I'm asked to share a few notes and a few navigational tips, instruction sets that may help us to navigate these intense energies a little bit more easy. So reality is what we make it, and ever more so now. What's it called? What you see here moving through the picture is incense. So anyway, in case you're wondering. So since the solstice, the gates of heaven, I mean, even before, wide open, and we are basically just being flushed now with diamond white and golden white liquid light, plasma waves, a lot of solar activity, Schumann resonance spikes continue and have been amplifying since yesterday, so Wednesday. And basically, this is it. As I said before, this is Ascension, this is the awakening. It's all happening now in slow motion. And I know people are having a hard time, as in some may be flat out or just going through a lot of clearings. The polarities are heightened. So it's, as I call it, the purge and merge sequence. We are purging all that needs to be purged from our old blueprints that is no longer resonant, all programming. There's basically a huge mind wipe going on, as in it's a data vibe. It's the whole old matrix that's based on fear programming. And that fear programming, which is belief systems and thought forms, which is everything is based on, thoughts create matter, is being deleted. There's also the false akash, it's false memories. It's, so it's basically you won't have the past running on autopilot all the time, repeating itself, subconsciously then recreating the same things over and over again. Okay, so we're out of the time loop. We're clearing all the karmic contracts, all the attachments, inserts, implants, crucifixion, implants. This is all collective. So what I bring forth and what I share, these are all collective activations that I bring in, I'm part of. And I'm one of the first ones to integrate them, activate them, embody them. So I share them with you, and I know they go out into the collective because, as I said before, I carry a Cosmic Ascension template, as we all do. And we literally are holding the instruction sets and the templates for the new divine human, so the blueprint for the divine human in our morphogenetic field, as well as for the ascension for the planet, the Edenic blueprints. So these are the Edenic ascension codes and keys, Paradisian keys and codes, also divine union, the cosmic oneness. It's all really one and the same thing, just different parts to it. Sovereignty keys and codes, abundance, freedom, it's literally all the same thing. And because it all interrelates, and truth is freedom. And love is truth. It's all one, literally. And we're now merging with the oneness. And as this happens, the polarities are highlighted, as in, apparently, everything is breaking down out there in the 3D world, thankfully. So I know it's difficult if we look at those realities, but quite frankly, my attention is totally not there whatsoever. I really had to look to see what's even going on. And of course, certain things are all affecting us, like increases in prices and so forth, but you have to see beyond what is happening and the bigger picture, because we have been waiting for this. So ultimately be grateful, and be grateful for what we have. We can also, save in certain areas. We don't often need that much food. This whole kind of craziness over food anyway, which is a lot what the survival is about here, which we are transcending. So all remaining fears, limiting programming, especially around self-love and self-acceptance, it's all coming up and out to be cleared, because that's all part of the old limiting programming that has kept us in the fear matrix. And it's literally clearing from our field. It has to come up and out. So what I do is when it gets really intense, is I really go into thank you, thank you, thank you, because I know it's ultimately exactly what I need, even if I'm not enjoying it in the moment. But dropping into gratitude, you know, as long as you can remove the resistance and judgment towards whatever is unfolding, this is going to get a whole lot easier and quicker, because the resistance is what keeps you, you know, all tense and the energy stuck in your body. You need to literally release it. So you can release it through, you know, things like salt baths, do yoga or other exercise. Stretching is very good. You know, a lot of upgrades with the vagus nerve happening. So movements for this, a lot of water, a detox, or whatever you may be guided to. So this all helps, as well as energy maintenance is paramount for anyone working with energy, and, you know, knows that keeping a sovereign energetic field, clearing it out on a daily basis is really should be something like toothbrushing. Now, what I do, I throughout the day do this myself. Again, it's part of spiritual hygiene. And obviously, this is what I do, clearing and upgrading and activating the field and mine, because we're here to ascend. So this is very much part of it. And I do it, as I do in many of my activations. I'm just going to quickly say how I do it. Maybe, you know, it resonates with someone. A quick version of it, let's put it that way. So I breathe into what I imagine is a ball of plasma light in my heart center. I let it build up, and it's basically a bubble of diamond, crystalline, rainbow plasma light. And as I blow it out, it's like a big bubble of plasma light all around me, all around my energy field. And that I use then for commands of clearing my energy field. I often say them in my head, such as purify, clear, heal, balance, harmonize, upgrade my whole morphogenetic field, you know, DNA, whatever you want to go through. You can go very, you know, detailed, whatever it is you want to be working on. And but I also connect to source. So to really put myself in a pillar of crystalline, diamond, white, platinum light. There's also something called the 12D shield technique by Lisa Renee, and that you can find on YouTube. So look it up, 12D shield. I try and put a note underneath in the comments box as well, in the description box for easier access. And basically it's imagining a Merkaba star in your third eye, and I do my own version. Okay, so I think most people who do energy work for a while, they do create their own way of doing things, which I do. So basically a Merkaba star, and you send this with a breath down through your central column into the core of the earth. You let it connect there. To connect with the crystalline core of earth, and then you breathe it back up till about 30 centimeters beneath your feet. And then you blow it out into a big platform all around beneath your feet, like a big round platform. And with the next breath, you breathe it up all around you. So it's a big pillar of light all the way up. And then I go through the stargates, so the sun, central sun, great central sun, galactic center, heart of Andromeda, aurora host, ascension earth, pre-meta fields, and source consciousness. But you can also do, and then basically I connect there. So I also spend some time within those different levels of my higher identities and consciousness levels and harmonic universes. And then as I connect with the oneness for a while, and then I just pull it back down all the way through, all the way around me, all the way through the crystalline core, through, all the way through, out into deep space. And then you're just in a pillar of light that connects you with source. And the quick way would be to connect it to maybe the sun, central sun, great central sun, galactic center, Andromeda, and source. Or just source, just go to source. But the thing is, my connection to Andromeda is for me very important, because that's what we, as the staff, so our central column, our vertical connection, is reconnecting into the core of Andromeda, which is what is this really all about, because it's the twin galaxy of the Milky Way. We were supposed to, or that's what used to be the case, be aligned with that. And this also then connects us with source and the perpetual eternal life source flows, which also are represented through the crystal lotus flower configuration, sacred geometry, that I have shared on the community page and on my Facebook page, if you're interested, which is basically replacing the flower of life configuration, because as I mentioned before, the flower of life configuration is something that basically, it doesn't take you very far. It's finite life, it's an old geometry, and the lotus flower is an upgraded version of that. And as I see this in the field, it's literally the old configuration, because it's how the circles interrelate, the degrees of how they interconnect, and also how they connect to the center, to the core. And basically it's what I can see is the old flower of life configuration changing the degree in which the circles interlock and turn into the crystal lotus flower configuration. So it's literally a re-encryption also of these metatronic reversals, which are causing reversals in our DNA. And they have been a big problem. And this is what has been clearing up a lot. If you want to know more about these things, look these terms up I'm mentioning in Ascension Glossary. It's a website. I've shared it often before, Ascension Glossary. I put one link underneath as well for easier access. Basically, it's a tool I've worked with for a long time. It's a nice Ascension tool. I take what resonates, as with everything, and leave the rest. Information keeps shifting and changing. Okay, think of the Mandela effect. So what we believe was true one moment might not be true anymore the next. We keep expanding, we keep going deeper. So I don't take this as a Bible or anything else. And what I want to say at this point, because the whole false light thing is coming up so big, that's also a lot of people are, I think, also keeping to themselves. Because once you realize that in the spiritual community, there's a lot of false light, you know, leaders, teachers, healers, all of that going on, you then may come across another set of teachings which are going to take you a bit beyond, which then teach you about true history, or, you know, the fallen history really of humanity, of that which we are basically clearing right now, that history, okay, through that mind wipe, through that data wipe, that memory wipe, because again, we need to change the history in order to have a different future, okay? So we're clearing all these fallen timelines. So anyway, if you come across what is called also Ascension mechanics, which basically gives you more insights of what's really happening within our blueprints and how many DNA strands we really have, and, you know, a lot more of the technicals and mechanics behind Ascension and what's going on. And it's the not love and light and just rainbows and butterflies spiritual category of Ascension. And it's a very important part. For many, it's just part of, you know, evolution and of our, you know, knowledge that we gain. Now, this thing is that also in there are distortions, because it's just, and it's also basically part of the fallen timeline. So don't attach too much to it. And if you come across teachings that then teach you that, you know, the love and light community, or, you know, the ones that may follow, I don't know, Ascended Master or Metatronic teachings or things like that, and, you know, see, oh, there's this whole false light, you know, spiritual category of things, and, you know, that's so bad. Just be aware that there's also another level then, that, you know, even if they're warning you of, you know, kind of false spiritual teachings, that you're not falling for another level of spiritual teachings that are also inverted, just on another level in a more clever way. That's at least what I've been experiencing as I've been digging deeper into all of these themes and information over my journey and experience. And basically, I think a good, what you should look out for is if any kind of teachings, okay, make you drop into judgment or fear or division and polarity, warning signs, yeah, because it just drags you or keeps you stuck then in polarity consciousness. If you're like into this you know, this spiritual group against that spiritual group. That's exactly the problem which we have to resolve here, because there's been a split within the spiritual teachings and have been infiltrated, okay, by negative alien agendas in order to hoodwink us and lead us down phantom timelines, quite frankly. And especially those teachings that warn about other teachings and then give you the magic pill here. This is what you need in order to clear reversals. Just be mindful, double check. Is it teaching sovereignty, or is it making you dependent on the material and the activations? And can we really trust it? Or is this just another layer of deception and inversions? Because that's what I've experienced this really is. Take always what resonates, leave the rest, as I would always say. This is about your connection to source. You don't, I think many of us are at a place where they don't want to read any more information because it's information overload and because all of this is going now. It's clearing. So I'm not even paying any more attention of all these imposters running around trying to wave their last flags and trying to lead people down foreign timelines, because it's not going to happen. All right. And just don't worry about anyone. That's what I would say. Everybody kind of you just need to let go of expectations. You need to let go of fear over what happens to people. Those who sometimes, you know, seem to get it and then are 2 steps back and then 2 steps forth and 2 steps back with their cognitive dissonance. Just let it all unfold. Just the best thing you can literally do right now is just relax as much as you can, because the nervous system that's been upgraded right now, that interconnects with the planetary brain and the grid system in the planet, which has been upgraded and readied for the big finale, is receiving upgrades. And why this happens, the more relaxed you can be, the easier this goes, because your higher identity, your multidimensional self, literally integrates through your nervous system. The more relaxed you can be, the better. That's why they have been frying us for frequencies. And that's why now, with this final cleanup, just going absolutely amazing. We're blitzing the grids. This is just now becoming really fun, okay? Victory is ours. This is done. It's just about really seeing it. And I know, depending on where we have our attention, what's going on in our lives, we're having very many different experiences. That's exactly the point of today's video, that we are the ones who make reality. We are, you know, our perception, our projections is what creates reality. And we literally hold the New York blueprints, the Edenic timeline, in our DNA and RNA. Okay, the instruction sets, and they're unlocking fully now. And tomorrow is the last 666 day. And again, this is connected to death seals and the 666 timekeepers, the foreign timelines that have now totally lost their hold over the timelines, and we are reclaiming it. This is what this is about, because I know they try to abuse these or use them for their own advantages these days. So I am guided to counteract these throughout, as you see. That's why I do so many activations. It's always guided of counteracting what else also is going on in the field, which is a lot of shenanigans. So we hold the field, and who is guided to join, please join us. It's a remote activation, so there's no live video. It's just, I can go deeper like this. It's, you know, just different to live ones. I will make live activations or recorded ones again as well. And I have many recorded ones on my SoundCloud. If you want to listen to something during that remote activation, because depending on, you know, what you prefer and where you're at, that might be easier for you. So you can listen to one of my activations while we are remotely connecting in meditation. And you can also use it for your own grid work, because we will very much be focusing on the diamond grid activation, crystalline core activations will be very much focused on our heart also. For the last activation from the solstice, thanks so much for everyone who's taken part. It's just so powerful what we can do together. And again, please share or take part if you want to. The more of us can add our keys and codes, the quicker this goes. Okay, and this is a really powerful field, even if it's, you know, just a few of us, but do not underestimate. It's the few that make the change. Okay, and again, obviously, it's like a whole huge undertaking by everyone playing their role, and over millions and billions of years. Okay, so when I even speak about I am doing anything, it's really the great I am. Okay, which we are totally merging with, which is what these activations are about. So we are just about for us to strip your false artificial self, these matrix algorithms, okay, to become a pure vessel for source to fulfill you and work through you. That's what we're here for, and that's what I'm doing. So if you feel guided to take part, it's at 10 p.m. UK time. Again, we connect remote. We will be focusing on DNA activations, plasma light body, and especially the diamond grid and the crystalline core and heart, because very much through the solstice also a massive core activation took place. And yeah, it's just beautiful what's happening. And I mentioned also, I put a plasma ball with now a third eye and crown area and now a heart area, which is clearing everything. It's really merging the two circles, the two plasma balls in our throat area as well, to help us really clear out any remaining implants and inserts and blocks in that area and veil. And this is also connected to the electromagnetic core, okay? So these shifts happening, that's why we're having a lot of headaches and so forth. I can recommend, for example, lion's mane I've been taking, so like the lion and the mane. It's a mushroom that's very good for the brain. That's what I've been taking, for example, and in general, just a lot of self-care right now, okay? A lot of nature. It will really help you with these electromagnetic shifts, okay? And the shifts in the magnetic poles. So, and this is really shifting us from the artificial magnetic field and magnetosphere to organic magnetism, which enables us to levitate and teleport and all these fun things, because again, we've been held in a false density through the artificial magnetic field, okay? So this is not a pole shift that's causing any kind of catastrophic events. It's resetting us to where we should be and clearing all the remaining reversals, okay? So we are almost there, and tomorrow's gonna be epic. The 666 today. Congratulations, we're reclaiming all of this, okay? And especially eternal life, which is what these death seals and 666 codes are about, and also the Metatronic reversals. So we're replacing this with the true organic blueprints, which we do by us embodying our true self, okay? Your most authentic natural self, your unique fractal of source, okay? And only you know what that looks like. And every day we fine tune that, and every day looks a bit different, okay? But it's really all about knowing thyself, which makes us unfuckable with, because then we've healed all our trauma. We know ourselves very well. We know our strengths and weaknesses. Nobody can really throw anything at us. And at the moment, there's so much releasing. Just know everybody's purging. We're all a bit tense. We're all a bit narky. It's the judgment. It's all that what keeps us still separated. The fear, the programming, it's all quantum purging. It's a lot, okay? This is all lifetimes, all realities, all dimensions. This is so beyond. It's just, okay? We can't even fathom, because we have literally, it's like the vision, you know, these, that we can see less than 1% of the light spectrum. It's very much a very good example of the perspective we really have of reality and what things are really like and what's really going on beyond the veil, which is basically gone now. It's fully gone. I mean, it's dissolving also as quickly and easily as we can without people going crazy, because it's hard enough, okay? So just allow the sacred transformation, because we're literally changing at a cellular and subatomic molecular level, everything, okay? Quantum style. And keep imagining yourself also in, you know, within your bubble, or just golden white liquid light flowing throughout your body, all around you, throughout every cell and every atom, your veins, your bones, your blood, okay, and clearing and healing you, or diamond white light, or diamond white platinum light, what comes to you, what works for you, okay? But we're getting to a point where there's just a constant source flow. You couldn't do this all in one go, because it would literally fry our systems. That's why this is as easy and gracefully as we can do. But we keep building up on light quotient. We keep calling in more quanta, our quantum, our higher essence, our multidimensional self, okay? Purified and healed, unified as one. And it's huge merging with that true version of us, that true diamond avatar self. So our higher diamond heart mind is now fully online. Okay, we are fully connecting to cosmic consciousness, and everything else is being overwritten and cleared and purged. All right, and this has been going on for a while, but we've now collected all the codes and we're basically done. And it's just about the big finale, because victory is already ours. It really is. It's done. It's done, it's done, it's done. It's just a mass purge now. So join us if you feel guided to for the Holy Trinity Gateway of Divine Cosmic Oneness. We remember ourselves as one with all life. That's the new unity grid. That's the new earth grid system current. Okay, that's the consciousness behind it, cosmic consciousness. That's where we're anchoring, and divine love and reunion codes. Okay. 10 p.m. UK time, that's 11 p.m. Central European time, 4 p.m. CST, 5 p.m. EST, 2 p.m. PST, 7 a.m. on the Thursday, the 16th in Australia, the 25th. Following day then. Not Thursday, sorry, that would be the Saturday. Sorry, I made a mistake there also in the details. So what we've been, so you can click the link to get a reminder on Facebook that I leave underneath, or just set a reminder for yourself, or also just tune in Quantum No Time, because this is open 24/7. I'm active in the field. I constantly tune in. You're getting clearings and upgrades all throughout. This is a lot, okay? But we're making it happen, and this is a massive wave. So let's finish this love tsunami. Let's lift us all up into a higher dimensional reality and open up the heavens, okay? The false mirror in the sky, because again, reality is much more malleable than you think it is. It's literally atoms vibrating higher and higher, at a higher and higher speed and spin right now, because we are vibrating higher and higher, and literally all density, all the shit that's still there is being literally sifted out, okay? And that's literally tuning us to a higher frequency reality, okay? And what you think is solid is really just energy vibrating. Nothing is really that solid, okay? And we're literally shape-shifting realities. It's the platonic solids, it's the elementals, it's all been re-encrypted. The periodic table is being expanded. Okay, minerals we haven't seen for a while. Animals we will see that we haven't seen for a while. And ultimately, this is about quantum leaping, shifting to another timeline. Yes, we can, and we are, because we've gone way past linear. We're in a quantum space now, and we're aligned by our frequency. So the best you can do right now is, what would you feel like if you'd already be living your future life? You'd be relaxed. There would be nothing to worry about. You'd just be as happy as you can be, okay? And that's where we want to be. And you literally need to zone out this fallen reality that's collapsing fully in on itself. That's how you more quickly collapse it, by withdrawing it, your life force, your attention and your focus. That's your currency, okay? That's your life force. That's what I want. That's what I need to have any fallen timeline running. When you withdraw it, your attention, think of quantum observer effect, it literally ceases to exist. That's what you need to do now. Be in your happy bubble, whatever it takes, especially over this weekend now, okay? And just tune into what your higher self wants to communicate to you, because you will know what you need to know when you need to know it. Something massive is coming. Many of us can feel it, but just relax. You know it's going to be awesome, okay? Everything we've worked so hard for is now coming in. Everything is aligning, everything is falling into place, even though we don't know when and how exactly, but we know that. And I feel it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be way out there. All right, so just be ready. Whatever's going to happen, however it's going to unfold, something is about to pop. All right, so, and we keep making it happen with every word, thought, feeling, belief, and action we take. And activations like these are one of them. You don't need to. We anchor them in the field for everyone. So again, everything I talk about, it's collective, okay? Because we hold these blueprints, we activate, and then it's available in the field, in the quantum, basically immediately as we do it, for those that want to pick up on it. But those who take part get most of what's coming in, and we're really anchoring a lot of light. And thank you so much for those who have been taking part for the last few months. We've been, you know, or also just recently have joined, you really rock, and all your support, any donations sent, sharing, subscribing, liking. I know it's been hard keeping in there, and sometimes when these positive messages come and you're feeling going through a lot of crap, I know that can be triggering. I know I trigger a lot of people. I know people go off me as well, especially now with all of this false light stuff going on. I have a lot of projections of people, and that's okay. That's part of the job, really. And especially now, but I've, trained for this to stand here now, tall in really what I'm here for. It's authenticity, transparency. It's basically truth. And that's my frequency. And that cuts through all the bullshit. And that's what we're all here for. It's not about to be perfect. What is that anyway? Because that literally sets up us for failure. It sets us up for failure if we have very high expectations that we cannot meet. And again, every day is different and each person is different. And, set your own standards that you then can live up to. And it's all about the alignment with that integrity, okay, of what you say. When you align with what what you say, think, feel, believe, and do. That's in alignment altogether is your embodiment, okay? And with the cosmic consciousness, because just transcend your ego self that feels separate from others, okay? Which is through all the judgment really right now. So when you're judging yourself or judging others, it's all the same really. Just go there, say thank you, because it's an opportunity for you to integrate another piece of you, okay? I think I'm done now though, fingers crossed. Judgment, I sometimes work through, and I know it in that moment and I let it come up. So I'm aware, but I'm not going to tell myself I shouldn't be that or feel that way. I just go deeper and then I transcend it, but I make it a judge fest. I make it fun. Okay, but I know I'm literally judging myself. So I'm just going, okay, where am I doing that? Because I know, or where I used to do that, because if I don't transcend the judgment, I will catch myself later on doing it, 100%. At some point. That's just how this works, okay? And we're now letting go of all this karmic stuff. So integrate all these pieces, and every trigger, every judgment is an opportunity. And ultimately, we are the only ones judging ourselves here. When you think of the final judgment day and all of this stuff, it's all the same, okay? We are judging ourselves. You're the only one to have to forgive yourself. You're the one choosing yourself. The chosen ones, we're the ones choosing ourselves. And ultimately, again, we're just vessels here. That's the thing. Transcend the ego identity of us versus them. Because again, any teaching telling you this as well, good versus evil, even if it talks about oneness, but that's the general theme there. Okay. And you're stuck in, we all have fallen aspects. We're literally fallen angelics. We are all of these things. If we still think we are separate from anything or anyone, that's where we need to integrate and merge more with the oneness. Because you cannot ascend whilst you're still in separation. It's just really as easy as that. And well, as simple, not as easy, obviously, because polarity opinions, that's the one thing that keeps us all apart. And it's been highly weaponized. Okay, and the divide and conquer, where we usually have the same goals and aspirations. Or we just go about it differently, and then we think the other ones are the problem. So radical neutrality right now saves the world. And it doesn't mean that you don't have an opinion or a perspective and discernment, far from it. But you don't have to argue over it. You don't have to fight for it. You don't get, defensive or cut someone out or block someone or whatever, just because someone has another opinion. Okay, that's if you have narcissistic tendencies and then shut down and don't want to basically face your own cognitive dissonance. That's when that happens, because you basically don't want anyone to say anything that doesn't align with your version of truth. That's an issue. When we have integrated all of these pieces, doesn't matter what anyone says, they can be jumping around, screaming from the rooftops. It's not, our issue. We will still state our truth or not, depending on the moment. But their version of truth doesn't affect or frighten or make us fearful, or we feel, affected by it. And the most important thing is to understand that we all have our own version of reality and truth. And that's another thing. If any teaching is telling me that they have the ultimate version of truth, sorry, but that's the issue, because again, the quantum observer effect tells us that each person has a very unique version of reality. And that's what we've seen, especially over the last 2 years, where 2.5, where people have very different experiences of reality, you know, and throughout the world, obviously. And yes, we all have different themes, okay, that we came here to resolve, that we need to overcome, different parts of the puzzle. But ultimately, how enjoyable this experience was or not really depended on how the person took it. And so it is with all in life. It's the same as when we're in a good mood and somebody comes across us and they're trying to trick us. It doesn't, you know, it just washes off us like water off a duck's back. But if we are in a tense state and the other person is, or whatever happens with them, then friction happens usually if we can't hold the field, okay? And that's okay also. Needs to come all up and out. Don't judge anything. And don't judge the judger either. It gets really fun here, okay? Because it's all you, ultimately. That's the oneness. And that's why so many people also had to deal with the loneliness, because you really find the oneness within the loneliness. 144. And we are now just the core monad, okay? Those 144. Now remember, okay, that we are one at a deep cellular level, unifying as one consciousness again that has reconciled itself already at a higher dimensional level. And that's what's going to unfold now as we remember. And yeah, I mean, these are powerful clearings and upgrades. I've had 3 times now where I was out in nature and I'm going through massive clearings and my kidneys come up and I literally cannot walk and I need to sit down, like really intense pain. And I usually get that when we go through a lot of clearings, but yeah, fun. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, the more resistance or judgment you have to what is, the more you are stuck in dogmatism and right versus wrong, good versus evil, the more issues you have right now, because you're still working through those layers of separation. But we're also integrating our own individualness, individual self, you know, integrating our ego to make it our true self, okay? And we play with that, but we don't attach to it. We're not, you know, we just play with it. We don't take ourselves too seriously, because it really should become play now. That's us in the Holy Trinity with this Holy Grail and Holy Trinity codes coming online, super powerful. It's all restored. It's online now. It's fully flowing through the grids, through our bodies. That's why it's all a bit painful, because it's flushing out all the crap that still needs to go, okay? But just know it's for the best. I know it's a long marathon, and when you feel like it doesn't matter whatever you're doing, it's never enough. I've been there too. Just know that's just before the breakthrough, okay? Like I just know, again, everybody needs to just feel it all, okay? But ultimately, I wouldn't pay too much attention. All these, it's just negative, old limiting thought forms leaving. You just need to see it for what it is and let it go. Don't feel it. Don't believe it. Do you really believe that it's never going to change? Do you? Do you really don't think we're going ever to ascend? Really? Or do you think maybe it's about to happen in the blink of an eye? And I know we've been blinking for a while, and I do say these things. It's always now, okay? And it's about us reprogramming ourselves, that everything does change in a blink of an eye, okay? And ultimately, this is the blink of an eye now, since we've been talking about this. So, you know, in human terms, sometimes it takes, you know, it feels like a long time, but you need to drop into your timeless, eternal self. That's where our power lies. It's our secret weapon, because it's part of transcending the illusions, is transcending time, space, gravity, okay? And death, your eternal, the one true eternal self that we all are, the one, has never been born and never dies, and that consciousness is always available to you. And forget about what you think you need to know about Ascension. Ultimately, that's the only truth you need to tune into. And ultimately, you know, enlightenment, awakening has nothing to do with the level of information we have. It can happen to anyone at any moment in time. It's literally by divine will. It's not something you can make happen. It may be that obviously along the journey, we acquire information, but in the end, right now, we let it all go. Because think of Mandela effect, things are changing all the time. You know, even buildings, areas. Yeah, it's, you know, it's a lot. So, you know, it's like living dead people, or, you know, people just disappearing or never existed. Think along those lines, okay? This is quantum timeline mechanics. As we're correcting the issues within the consciousness that has brought us to this place, we are going back to the future where we should be, in the future timeline, and fully merged, quantum merged with our future ancient self that has already ascended, which is always available now, because all of these timelines are all available now. We're merging into one organic creatrix field, okay? It's beyond timelines. They're all merging, unifying into one, all right? And again, you know, connect with your heart, with your higher self, multidimensional self, whichever way that comes to you. Do go natural. How would you naturally connect as a child would do? Okay, we all have the instruction sets. There's not one way to go about it. It's about sovereignty, okay, keeping a sovereign energy field, and it's also about us maintaining our energy, okay, no longer letting vampires feed off us, okay? So boundaries, discernment, when we need to say no, and, you know, maybe cocooning ourselves when we feel like it, and saying no to social engagements at times is very much necessary, because a lot of the multidimensional integration, you need space and you need peace and you need quiet, okay? And that's what's happening. In the silence are the answers. So I really recommend just connecting with yourself, nature, the silence within, and all the answers are there, literally. The whole of the universe. It's all, our DNA holds the records, okay? Our whole morphogenetic fields holds the records of all of creation throughout time and space, all accessible, okay? And that's what we're accessing again now, as we're clearing all this crap and activating all new. Now, our diamond self. So all you really need to do, align everything of you with that version of you, with your future ancient self that is already ascended. Keep focusing on things that you want to see, whether it's pictures, information, what you talk about, what you think about. Really keep focusing in your life force and attention and focus on what you want to see. What's never been more important. And daydream, your imagination, it's got dreaming through you, okay? But just you need to clear out your vessel and your ego attachments and needs and desires to let pure consciousness flow through you, okay? So that's why any attachments will be shown to you, and you will literally need to let go, because that's part of the process of ascension. You need to transcend all your attachments to the 3D matrix illusions, okay, to form, literally, to physical form and what you think it is. Because again, it's a lot more malleable and it's shape-shifting, all right? But first you need to accept it for what it is. So it's all about right now transcending judgments. Don't judge the judger, just go deeper, sit with it, bring it up and out, see why you're still doing it or why are they doing it. So you don't have to embody it at a later point. And, you know, it's all about self-inquiry and reflection. It's such an important part. That's literally shadow work, and being able to objectively really ask for the answers to be shown, even if these are difficult truths, okay? I just laugh at myself a lot. I don't take it seriously. And it's just when you're very attached to judgment and you're still in your ego, false self, that you feel offended, or you will want to protect or defend yourself, you know? Your higher self just laughs at all these things because it doesn't attach to the role you're playing here or the role anyone else is playing here. Now, you know that you're playing a role and you take it seriously, in that you need to fulfill the mission of your role, of your avatar in the game. What is it here to do? To fulfill, you know, all the initiations and the tests. But you also see beyond it that it's literally, you know, a role that we're playing. And we've had many lifetimes, many roles we've been playing. This is just one, although it all culminates and merges here. Okay, all we've ever done. That's the thing. This is a huge reckoning, in a sense, where, you know, it's all of our actions, all of our decisions, it all adds up to this moment now for everyone. All right, and we will see how that pans out. But I know I have nothing to worry about. So again, it's your own judgment ultimately that you're facing. If you're thinking of some God, you know, if you're passing the final judgment day is really the end of judgment. That's what sets us all free. Because you have discernment. It's like, oh, that's not what I would do because I know better now. But you wouldn't be like, oh my God, how can I do it? You know, and like they're evil or there's something wrong with them. And all of that needs to go. And it needs to be replaced with love, compassion, understanding. And that's why we came here, to learn all the lessons. So we humble ourselves because nobody is perfect. Because humility is so huge. Okay, because if nothing else, the spiritual path will humble you sooner or later. And the spiritual ego is a big issue among certain spiritual groups. And that's what's coming up. Okay, because you can't take that shit with you. You just can't. And that's why the surrendering is so important. That's why the ego is literally being beaten down for it to surrender to source. Because it's the artificial ego self that equals the matrix. Okay, and that is being shift deleted. So just let it go. Nothing to hold on to. Open your heart. Keep a very open mind. Because what we thought yesterday or a week or 10 years or a year ago is no longer true. How often have you thought what we believed in? You know, just whenever. Now we're like, oh my God, I was so stupid. You know, how often have we thought of like, oh my God, it's really dumb. I laugh at myself. I'm not like, oh my God, I have no, any shame or guilt needs to be totally transcended. It's all just an experience, but you need to be willing to learn and listen and see what has helped you and what hasn't. If you're not willing to see, you can't learn. That's the issue with some people. That's cognitive dissonance. And that's when you're stuck in good, right, wrong, dogmatism, and all of that mindset. Okay, so that's why we then end up embodying the things we are judging, because that's how we transcend it and that's how we integrate these aspects. That's just alchemical work. So when you catch yourself doing the things you're judging, laugh at yourself, go deeper, try and transcend it, because you will be doing it until you really transcend it, all the judgment, or it will keep coming up in your life until you lost the resistance. Until you lost the resistance or judgment towards whatever is happening or unfolding in your reality, whatever it is. And it keeps coming round and round until it's transcended. That's just how it goes, no matter how difficult. So we can integrate it as another piece of us, of the one. That's the oneness. That's us unifying with all. That's the cosmic reunion happening within us, because we are all of these races. We are all of these things. We're the angelics, we're the Andromedans, the Syrians, the Palladians. We have DNA from all the races on this earth and intergalactically. That's why humanity is such an important part of the puzzle, because we literally carry the cosmic blueprints. I'm going to click this all online because it's a cosmic ascension. Okay, we're helping all races, and it's the one consciousness. It's a consciousness reset. Okay, from the old artificial to the cosmic consciousness. All right, where we're fully reconnected with source, eternal source flows, where at one point we just have constantly just source flow, energy light running through us, that there's just no more density left. All right, and we'll be flying, literally, with our wings back on, because it's all healing, literally. There's such a thing called wing trauma. And yeah, that's all healing. Actually, a fun little TV tip, if you're interested, Fallen. It's about literally fallen Nephilim angels. But anyway, it's some quite interesting, because there's literally nothing to watch. So I'm like desperate for watching anything sometimes, just to chill out. Anyway, I came across that. It's not too bad. It's a little 3-part series, Fallen, like fallen angels. So yeah, some interesting thoughts there. So anyway, so oneness is the key, and your crystal lotus rose heart is your source center. Okay, so now literally, besides connecting to source vertically, your high heart, your permanent seed atom, this is your source center. And what I can see is this crystal lotus configuration, okay, which is 12D blueprints and beyond, which is where we want to be, 12D and beyond. Okay, nowhere lower than that. Okay, that's what we're here for. Minimum 12D. And it's literally, I can feel it coming out from my heart center, the new configuration. It's eternal source flow. So you perpetuating your own source energy and perpetual energy flow from your heart center constantly. And it's constantly just amplifying, perpetuating, multiplying, okay? Your own energy. And I can feel it in my own field. For the last week, I've been deepening into relaxation because I know the worst is over. And I can relax. My nervous system is relaxing because all the frequency nonsense is leaving, all the tagging, all the psychic attacks, it's all coming down, 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 down. It's all clearing, 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 clearing. And again, each in their own divine timing, because again, this is also part of our own field, but also again, collectively, because I just know whatever I'm experiencing is happening for the collective as well. And that's what we're here for. To whatever we do for ourselves, all of us, we do for our ancestral lines. That's also clearing. Family healing, really huge. So there might be things coming up or things break down or there's healing happening. We will see how it all unfolds. There's still some, things standing out. Just understand that's part of also your divine feminine, masculine, inner child healing of the Holy Trinity, which is now fully online, okay, our new blueprints. And as this heals, the conflicts come up. That's the whole thing. The same with the purgings and all our clearings. It's just a sign of that energy is clearing. And then afterwards, you will feel more connected. And ultimately, it's all about our own connection with our own heart. That's our home. That's our source. And that's where we return home to now. And that's the oneness, because it's our open heart. That's what we're going to do, okay, with the activation. Really, hearts wide open, connecting as one. That's the awakening. That's the magnetic shift, core shift. That's what clears out fully the grids and brings the new grid online. And I'm getting tingles. Okay, and again, we don't, no attachments, okay, expectations. That's the best way. No expectations, attachments to anything or anyone or any date, any activation whatsoever. But again, we're also here to keep help making it happen. And I feel it's going to be epic. And then we just let go. And again, also the 72 hours after, allowed to integrate, and there's still a lot that's going to happen. And keep tuning into the field. It's quantum, okay? It's timeless. It really is. And whatever you're doing, okay? The 666, the 24th is a big day. And again, it's beyond dates, okay? But I just know and feel it. And I think we can feel it. We keep building up, building up, building up. So depending where our focus is, that's the kind of life we're experiencing. So especially now, reality is what we make it. Focus in on very specifically the reality you want to experience. Tune in with your higher self and source. Let the visions be shown to you, the ideas to come. You can maybe also feel we have a lot less brain activity as the wiping of the bad data is continuing, but also as all the interference patterns are clearing, okay, and the whole phantom matrix and the old artificial grids, AI signals, AI materials, all the frequency weapons, it's all clearing, okay? So there's also less of that constant static noise of negative thought forms, okay? That's clearing. But again, as the clears may come up, just neutrally observe them, let them go, replace them with loving thoughts when you get around to it. And self-love is the key to our success and full liberation. And it's really what sets us all free, because once we love ourselves fully and truly, don't touch ourselves anymore, we know ourselves, okay? No more hidden shadow aspect that we project onto others from our unconscious, okay? That's the only thing that's really evil, is the unconscious of humanity. That's the evil we need to bring up into the consciousness, shed light onto. And what happens when you shed light onto a shadow? It turns into light, okay? So we're alchemizing all these fallen parts, fallen aspects, fallen archetypes, alchemize it all through you, any judgment, any resentment, because then when you fully love and accept it yourselves as you are, that's true freedom. And then you can extend this out to everyone else. That's the oneness. That's the unity. That's the new grid. That's the new realities online. Okay, now let's do it. Let's be this. Your crystal lotus heart is your source center. It's the key. It's the key to your oneness. And know that any interactions we have is always a two-way street. You know, when we pick up on other people's feelings or thoughts, just know what's happening, have compassion for yourself, and others. Just keep resetting, keep clearing your field, keep going into nature, and just really self-care right now is totally key as we're literally rebirthing new earth and our new self from within us, okay? And just know it's all happening, it's all coming together now. So just know the ego is literally equals the old artificial matrix programming, okay? It's not your true self. And also the new relationship templates are very much based on sovereignty. So for the twin flames, one last message at his place: no matter what goes on with your twin, if, for example, you're not in contact, totally let go, totally detach. It's just the time where this is unconditional love. You just want a person happy, no matter whether they're with you or not, even if you see them together with somebody else, even if you know they're not following their true heart, okay, whatever you think who they are, you need to also detach from your identification with form and that person again, to see through the illusions of this lower reality playing out. And things play out until they no longer trigger or affect us, and you can see through them for what they really are, okay? Or whatever needs to play out will play out. Just again, no attachments, no expectations, full freedom. This is unconditional divine love. No matter what they do or don't do, you still love them. Just as with all life everywhere, because again, this is what the twin flames for me, what it is about, that's what they really bring us to, because with the extreme of the mirror being held up to you, you get to love all those unloved pieces of yourself, bring them all back in, and that helps you to love literally all life everywhere, okay? And they're basically the new relationship templates, which is what we as twin flames are, you know, is a big part of what is held in our template next to the Adenic and Paradisian templates. Also healing all the reversals between the genders, the gender divide, gender war, gender split, and also all these distorted templates of the old relationships, which were basically based on codependency and, you know, other person needing to make you happy and conditional love. And the new relationships are the opposite. So that's why we have to transcend all of this. So it's really based on sovereignty, interdependency. Karmic relationships will conclude now. You will see they will not last. It's just not possible. Anything that's based on the old template is just falling apart. It doesn't work anymore. And, you know, we don't need anyone to fulfill us, or, you know, we obviously communicate our needs in relationships, but it's not that we make another person responsible for making us happy or sad, because that's our responsibility. But we're also responsible for how we treat one another, okay? And we're literally here to be that which we want to see in the world, to be the change. That's also the law of one, as in we want to treat others the way we want to be treated. But again, as we get there, okay, it's not about being perfect. Just keep coming back to neutrality, keep coming back to your heart, keep coming back to love for yourself, not others. Keep trying to see why you're doing what you're doing, or why other people are doing what you're doing. So you understand it, that integrates it, and that releases it, because you cannot change anything that you're still judging, whether within yourself or other people. And again, whatever you're judging within others is ultimately something you're judging within yourself. So the core fractals, which we are, the 144 or the 144,000, okay, we hold the core blueprints of the new divine human and of the cosmic ascension for the planetary ascension. And it's literally the music of the spheres, which is our sound and light tones within our field that are unique to us, our own puzzle piece to the big blueprint, okay? So the more we can be our natural, unique self, embodied, in alignment with the cosmic God source consciousness, that's where we all gonna vibrate and sing in harmony, okay? We're all a part of the orchestra. And as we all sing into our unique soul song, this is when the music of the spheres is shifting everything back into beautiful harmony, okay? Because this is a lot about sound and light fields, which is what instructs matter, which is before we turn into physical manifestation and sacred geometry, it's sound and light. Okay, and that then turns into matter. And that's also our dark matter template that is being fully upgraded and reset to our divine blueprints plus upgrades, which is literally shape-shifting matter, physical matter, and the elements in our form as well. And we're shifting from carbon to crystalline, which is also connected to the atoms, our atom spin rate. It's also connected to the 666 code, because we know the old atoms have 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons. What I've been shown is that the new atom, so as we change from carbon to crystalline, is 13 protons, 12 electrons, and 13 neutrons. That's what I'm working with at the moment. And also triple helix DNA, 144 divine template of the DNA, RNA, and fire letters overwritten by quantum time codes. That's what I've been shown. And it's 144 strands of DNA, subharmonic strands of DNA, plus 3 as one. And we really literally, it's like the timelines, it's merging as one. And this is holding the instruction sets for new realities. It's the instruction sets for our consciousness. And this is all being cleared of the faults, reversals, and lower codings and mutations. And the new switching online very powerfully, which is our multidimensional DNA, which brings online a new diamond self and realities, new earth realities. And I'm just having a quick look if I missed anything, but I think that's it. So yeah, so reality is what we make it. Also check out, I posted about the Looking Glass project, because that shows again another example of how, I'm not going to go into the Looking Glass project now, I'll just check out the post on the community page, my Facebook page, because basically it's about how, they've been able, the Cabal, through seers, really through oracles, to access this extraterrestrial machine in order to see future timelines. But what it showed was, it's depending on the consciousness of the person, they will see different things, because they will have different access to different timelines. That's why I know, for example, I've been holding this Ascension timeline, this quantum leap, within my template since the Lemurian Holocaust, holding it for us now to go back in time and quantum leap. And we all remember this somewhere deep within our DNA, because we all connected. Okay, we all have that memory, we all have that access. So when I talk about me, it's really the great I am, we all have that. Okay, it really is that way. And that's why it's important to connect in the silence with your eternal self, to access what you came to bring back, because the memories of those realities, the golden timeline, Edenic, Cartesian, New Earth, whatever we want to call it, it's in your DNA, and we all hear different pieces, different parts of that make that happen. The inventions, or what we're here to bring, such as media instruction sets, and the activations in order to help make that happen. We all have these pieces, okay, and are very unique to each person, very unique. And then we also have these which are common, such as clearing all that stuff out, and bringing the new online, okay? And that's everything we do. Again, it doesn't matter what we do, everything is this. Every conversation we have, every 30 seconds, every thought we have, it's our frequency that we hold, okay? And right now it's the higher frequency. Just make yourself happy, deal with whatever I need to be dealing with. Again, everybody's in a different space at a different time. For us to hold the balance, if we all would be having a meltdown in the same moment, the world would fall apart. So just know it's all okay. All right, whatever it is, embrace it, keep flowing, don't resist, don't judge anything, keep merging with what you want to see, what you want to be, let everything else go. It's very obvious right now, okay? And depending on how we see things, that's what shifts our version of reality. It's the same with healing, it's not time. You can be heartbroken for 20 years and never heal. You might get worse and worse, or it might take you a week. And it literally can take you a moment if you just have a different shift of perception, because it's literally when we have a skewed view on things, that's really what causes the long-lasting trauma. Okay, it doesn't mean that when bad things happen that we're not affected by them, but we can transmute them and alchemize negative situation experiences pretty quickly, quantum style, through a different perspective, because that's ultimately what heals, a new consciousness. And that's what we're here to bring in all kinds of ways and shapes and forms. And the way we see reality is what shapes it. Okay, that's what the quantum observer effect is telling us. So if we see a beautiful world, you know, when we're in a happy mood, everything is beautiful, isn't it? When we're depressed, we could be walking through the most beautiful scenery. It would like not impress us whatsoever. And we could not be, you know, wouldn't make us happy in any way. So it's our perception, our mood, our frequency, what we think, because it's ultimately the constant thought forms that are running subconsciously so far on autopilot that have been co-creating our lives unconsciously from our shadow aspects, all these traumas, looping us in the same experiences over and over again. And it's all clearing right now, okay? And all healing through the shift in perception, through the new instruction sets in our DNA, the new consciousness coming online. Okay, and through our hard work and reprogramming ourselves, it's all of this. Okay, it's a big happening, but we're also making it happen. It's both of it. If we don't do anything, it doesn't get done. But then who is the one deciding who, you know, comes online here and does this or writes anyway? At one point, it's just source working through you and just your pure vessel, and you're not attached anymore of how many people are looking at it or liking it or what they think of you. That's true freedom. I know. Again, I trigger people that judge me and whatever, the people closest to me. I mean, it can, you know, get you. I know one of my trauma responses is, you know, doing everything on my own, but also because it just hasn't been the right time, the right circumstances yet, and people in the right frequency, myself included, for people to come together and work together more harmoniously. But I know it's also trauma response because I find it very hard to trust people, because I have been attacked from people very close to me again and again and again, and projected upon. So I do protect my energy field. And I know it's kind of, okay, we're still in the phase where, you know, you want to be a little bit in your cocoon until it's no longer, but I'm not afraid of anything. And it's another thing. So it's just knowing when it's time to move and do certain things and when not. But we will be co-creating now with all crap clearing and all this ego nonsense, which is keeping us separate ultimately, okay? Fully embodied, no more competition, no more jealousy, okay, which is really at the core of all of this. Where we're all equal, nobody feels above or below anyone, true humility, but also full self-confidence. It's one and the same. It's the paradoxes we're integrating, okay? It's the same with the relationship templates of full freedom, but also full commitment. It's both and. A lot of this multidimensional consciousness, it's both and. It's the paradox. It's both of these things at the same time. So we are here to project a whole new reality now onto the screen through our DNA. Okay, so I'm just here to remind you that's what's going to happen now. I can feel it. 360-degree crystal clear vision. Information is getting very clear. Everybody's seeing the truth, whether you want to or not. That's the awakening. Only the truth remains. That's what this diamond light is doing. We're being just flushed now with pure source light, pure source codes, bliss codes, abundance codes, freedom codes, divine union codes. It's all happening. So relax into it. What would you feel like living your ideal life? What does it feel like, sound like? What do you look like? But it's not about it, who with or when and exactly how, just the feeling, okay? The general feeling. Don't attach it to specifics. Stay wide open, let it come to you, your magnetic self. Okay, the magnetics are shifting within our heart, our brain, and the core of the earth. And it's now drawing everything we need to us with much ease and grace. Okay, because it's already done, it's already existing in another reality. Okay, so think quantum timeline shifts, Mandela effect, things changing in a blink of an eye. Reality is about to shift huge. Be ready, all right? and take what resonates, leave the rest as usual. And just your connection to source is what all of this is about. When you are fully in tune with your own inner navigational system, that's when you know what to do when you need to know it. It's where you stay in flow in the now moment, no more forcing, no controlling, no fear of anything. Once you're in the oneness with unified with source, you know, you're always cared, you're always supported. Okay, and that's where we need to be. No more afraid of losing anything, anyone, being without, not having enough, all that goes. Because this is so much about us now, really, that self-confidence after we've been clearing all of this, okay, and self-love, where we are knowing our power, reclaiming our powers as conscious co-creators now, okay, and know we can do this. Because that's what we came here for, to remember again, because we've forgotten and we kept giving our power away to imposters, to leaders that were not who we thought they were. And it's okay, because it's an experience, but they're only there because we keep giving our power away. So we can listen to one another, but always be your own highest authority, okay? And make up your own mind. That's it. All right, so take what resonates, leave the rest, and always, and keep being open-minded, because your truth keeps changing. What we thought was right one moment is no longer right the next. Truth keeps expanding. There are higher and higher truths, okay? That doesn't make the rest invalid. It's just another level of truth, so to say. And we keep expanding. This is an expansion of consciousness. It doesn't end. Why do we think at one point we know it all and that's it, and it's the ultimate truth? It's ridiculous, really. Has it ever been the case? Do we just stop? That's not how consciousness works. Not how I am being shown. So anyway, so project onto the reality what you want to see. So important now more than ever. Withdraw all your life support from all the fallen realities. They're in full collapse mode now. Let them collapse. Quantum observer effect, full withdrawal. Okay. And look at videos of nice videos of kittens and dogs, things that make you happy. Go out in nature, play with cats, dogs, animals, whatever. Okay. Your own kids, be a child again. I'm going to do that this weekend, and join us for the activation if you want to. Thank you so much for your support. Like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to. Click the notification bell. Donations, so much appreciated if you can. Thank you so much for your support back, because I do everything on donation at the moment until we gotten rid of the money, huh? Any moment now, it seems. So thank you for being here now. I love you so much. Thank you for just being your authentic self. That's all that's needed, okay? Transcend any fear, any insecurities, any thinking people would judge you. Just sing, dance, talk, play as if no one is watching, okay? And just let all the judgment go. This is Judgment Day, the final end of judgment. All right, we have discernment, but we no longer resist or deny any parts of us, of the one. Merge with it all. Merge in the oneness, and you're always cared and supported, and there's nothing to be afraid of. Okay, and that's just embracing the uncertainty and childlike wonder, because it's gonna get really good now. All right. Now, whatever happens, happens. No expectations, no attachments. Just remember, ask to keep being shown the highest perspective and keep imagining the best. Keep imagining all the things that could go right, and anything else, try and shift, delete it, let it go, and just become aware of all your thoughts. Awareness, mindfulness, you know, every 30 seconds, what am I thinking, feeling, believing? Is this really true? 222. You know, is that what I want to believe? Because once we've transcended the algorithm of the false ego self, we do get to choose, okay? And it's also, again, aligned with the cosmic consciousness that then gives us the instruction set. So empty yourself of your false self, merge with your true self, and all you need to know comes from here, your inner navigational system, and the truth you are here to return, okay? The true memory records connect to our true blueprints, the music of the spheres, all coming online now, okay? All reclaimed. So it's done. Just know it, relax, enjoy. Celebration is the frequency. Be boundless, be timeless, be limitless, be your eternal self, okay? and be ready to ascend and rise. Now, I love you. I see you when I see you. Hopefully sometime at a nice big festival or bonfire. That would be much more fun than in this electronic form. Now, so much love. Bye-bye. Many blessings.